like not remembering a single gym leader from this entire game. So are the games of our lives. Corinna, Grant, Gregis, Ramos, Clement. One of those isn't real. And honestly, I'm looking at a list and I don't know which one it is. And these are the games of our lives. What is going on, Ghoul Squad? Welcome into the Games of Our Lives podcast. My name is Bill, and I am joined by my wonderful, fantastic co-host. And I'm not talking about Goose. I'm not talking about Chalupa. I am talking about the man who is living his Neo Tokyo dream right now. Battle On, aka Matt. Welcome in.
Any other AKAs?
AKA Tempest.
The M of enemy gamers.
The M of NME Gamers, aka I got another cat.
There you go.
He got manip.
He looks like he got more than that.
Oh, he got a whole paw full. But folks, this is the Games of Our Lives podcast, a video game podcast where Matt and I talk about the games that made us who we are as gamers today. That's how it goes. That is literally how it goes. So, welcome on in. And this is how we start every episode. One, by just making an absolute mess of the intro. And then two, what game are we talking about this week, Matt?
We are talking about Pokemon XY, but the reason why is extra relevant because what happened in Pokemon Land now kind of a while ago, but because of timing difficulties took us a bit, that led us to decide, let's take a look at the Kalos region.
Oh, we have Pokemon Legends ZA. Right? ZA, that's the working title they decided on.
Pokemon Legends Pizza.
Pokemon Legends Pizza, coming soon to a Little Caesars near you.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Pizza. So,
you're
we're talking about
Nintendo police.
Ooh. Getting sued by the Pokemon Company and Little Caesars in one solid line there. Yeah, so we're talking about Pokemon X and Y, and before we dive into Pokemon X and Y, I do want to go through just a little bit of gaming news. One thing in particular happened this week. It's going to be a little light on the news this week, but there's one thing in particular that I think is very important and leads to a lot of very good hope in our future. Now, Matt, what is your favorite primarily black and white Metroidvania that was made by an indie company in the last 10 years or so?
Oh, that's so easy. Dr. Fizzwizzle's Animal Rescue.
Oh!
That would be Hollow Knight.
So Hollow Knight is a great video game. Would you agree?
It's one of my probably top 10, top 15 all time.
Now, a sequel for that game was announced, I don't know, 50, 60 years ago.
It feels like it.
I don't remember exactly when. I want to say it was like 2017.
I think that's what it was. I think it was like 7 years ago.
Is when the game was announced. We're talking about SilkSong, which officially has appeared on Nintendo's official website, as well as the Xbox store, and apparently has official ESRB, PEGI, USK ratings available, which lends credence to the game actually existing.
We knew it existed already. Like, they had a fully playable demo of it when they were making those announcements. Like, they showed it
right
at E3. Like, Nintendo actually was demoing it live with the devs of the game.
It's insane to me that Metroid Prime 4 was announced at the same time.
And both of them are not out yet.
Which do you think comes out first?
SilkSong, because SilkSong at least had a continuous developer cycle going,
For
whereas
sure.
Metroid Prime 4 was like, we're gonna lay off the studio that's doing this because they're terrible right now.
Now
And
that
fine, we'll go back to the OG dev for the game.
so now that we've got this little bit of information, do you think that there's a chance that this game comes out before your kids graduate college?
No,
Not
no,
happening.
it'll be a graduation present.
For your grandkids, maybe. We'll see. T- TBD.
No, I think there's a real chance it comes out at the end of the year.
Yep.
Um, the thing that's so weird about it is just that they've been so quiet.
It has been a very silent work cycle for this game.
Which
And
is weird because they were so far into development.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see the comps that are made between the game when it eventually does launch and like those initial screens that we were shown, just to see like what was tweaked, what's different. It could totally be different. Um, they could actually secretly just be working on Banjo-Kazooie 3. Like, we don't know.
Oh my god.
The old rope-a-dope.
Sorry, you said Banjo Kazooie 3 and I just lost it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good, wouldn't it?
I'd probably scream.
Oh, you want to scream? I've got another piece of news for you. Just because Microsoft has been like killing it lately. And by it, I mean everyone's hopes and dreams. Microsoft is currently working on an Xbox AI chatbot, specifically for helping with support queries and game refunds.
I wonder why they need to do that.
I, I wish I could tell you, but it's not as cute as the paperclip. I guarantee that.
Clippy, please come back, Clippy. Why did you leave us, Clippy?
Clippy, come back. You can blame it all on me. That's
Clippy, come back.
that's it. That's honestly, what more news do you need?
Oh, I mean, we could talk about all kinds of things, like, my current obsession.
What is your current obsession, Mr. Looking
Pokemon
Down?
trading card game.
What trading
I
card
mean,
game are you talking about?
Pokemon trading card game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
That
pretty
thing
good
that we
one.
had in our intro image.
Are you talking about
Temporal Forces is out.
these guys right here?
Oh yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
This is what you need after a Thanksgiving dinner. You can't see it.
I
Oh,
can't
wait
see
for
it. It's in the Neo Tokyo.
I'll put it over my face. Maximum belt.
What does a maximum belt do?
It's an ace spec. You can only play one ace spec in your deck, and it attacks used by this Pokemon do 50 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX.
Huh.
Just,
Okay.
Powerful.
That's pretty good.
But anyways, my news is simply that the new Pokemon format has begun.
Oh.
And it's really, really fun.
Nice.
You're going to play a game.
I'll play a game.
Like a 10-second game.
All right, 10-second game.
Which normal type Pokemon is
Yeah.
one of the strongest attackers in the entire trading card game right now?
Ursaluna.
Ironically, no.
Dang, I thought I had that locked up, but maybe Snorlax? Is this is it like
it's not something you're going to ever guess.
Is it Chansey?
Nope. It's based on a chinchilla.
Really? Chinchino? Minchino?
Yeah. Cinchino, whatever it is.
I call it Chinchino, but I feel like Cinchino is valid and fair.
It's spelled Cinchino, but it's a chinchilla, so Chinchino makes sense. Too.
I've seen like Italian single C's be pronounced as a ch before.
You mean like ciabatta?
Oh, I love ciabatta. It's not called sabata. It's not kabata. It is ciabatta.
Yeah. There are some
arancini
Chinchino players making some serious bread right now.
Ooh. Okay.
You could take any of those puns and use them.
Well, I got one more piece of news here, and I think it's the most important piece of news. And I need you to be at full readiness for this because it is just a phenomenal headline. The headline's more important than the actual news story.
Listening.
Here's the headline from Kotaku. No, this is great. This is great. Honestly,
Opening with from Kotaku is a great
one of my favorite headlines of all time. Thank you, Kotaku. Quote, Kanye West allegedly did a Super Mario dance after threatening a staffer. First of all, incredible work. Second of all, what is a Super Mario dance? Matt, could you maybe, like, for the video viewers here, maybe perform the Super Mario dance for someone in a threatening way? Because I'm sorry, what does it mean to do a Super Mario dance at someone threateningly?
Allegedly, he also made people listen to one specific song from a Mario game on loop during dinner or lunch or whatever meal it was at the school.
Kanye did that?
Yes.
Yo, Kanye's... I would say he's built different, but that's not enough for him.
Oh, poor Yeezy.
I don't know if we're at poor Yeezy. I think we're at poor us for witnessing...
Having to deal with the yay.
I just... Like, I can imagine, like... Just walk with me through this journey. There's a non-zero chance that Kanye West, in the heat of the moment, literally went up to a person and said, "Wahoo! I'm gonna beat you!" or something to that effect. And it is now a news headline. Like, that's what happened, right? Like, he started doing the Mario voice.
I'm
gonna jump on you.
I feel like if I think about this too much, it's just gonna really...
I'm just trying to picture Kanye West try to do Mario's voice, and it's like sending me into orbit. Like, it is such...
I can't.
They don't mix, but, like, it makes perfect sense in my head. Like, it's so dumb.
Bowser hates toads.
Oh, classic. Classic Yeezy.
He hates toad people.
Man.
Just,
Princess Peach does not care about toad people. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line.
Please tell me there's something we can segue to.
Yeah, here's a segue. Want to talk about the game of the week?
Sure.
Well, the game of the week
sounds a lot safer.
We'll see. We'll see. The game of the week this week, folks, of course, is Pokemon X and Y, the wonderfully beloved Pokemon title that came out for the 3DS back in October of 2013. Sporting the colors of blue and red. Come on, like a throwback to the original games. They had, I mean, like, it was, listen, first of all, a banger roster of Pokemon.
Yeah, surprisingly strong, given the fact that I think it was it one of the smaller gens?
In terms of total number of new Pokemon, I believe it's one of, if not the smallest.
I think it is, because it's like 71 total.
Yeah, so it's not very many. And I mean,
but the hit rate was pretty high.
Oh,
with the exception, like, it was like, this is good, this is good, this is good. That exists? There's like there's like 3 or 4 mediocre lines.
Sure.
2 that just shouldn't exist. And then the rest are pretty good.
Yeah, there's some absolute bangers here. Now, before we get, like, too deep into the Pokemon themselves, some things that Gen 6 did. One, and probably most importantly for the game, Pokemon X and Y Generation 6 introduced the Fairy type, which is the
Oh God,
latest type of Pokemon.
I don't think they're adding any more ever because of what Fairy did to the game.
Fairy's wild. Like, it is just like adding an 18th type uh, into a, at this point in time, what, 20-year-old franchise, 18-year-old franchise,
When did it come out?
1996.
No, 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 no. October 2013.
Yeah, 2013 to when did Pokemon come out? 1998.
Oh, 17. Yes,
So 15
15
years.
years.
15. Yeah,
I think it's like 15 years.
yeah, that sounds about right.
They introduced a number of things though. Um,
Yeah, what are some other things
you
they
want me to run
introduced?
through the list of new
Yeah,
things?
yeah,
So first, it was 3D compatible handheld gameplay. That was
sure.
new. You could change names, or they also changed the names of certain moves. So like they just changed how names worked,
Oh, okay.
which is a little weird. Sorry, my printer is apparently haunted.
I can't believe.
Um, let's see. They also changed motion. You could do diagonals because you could do the roller skates. Remember?
Oh, that's right, because the 3DS introduced a stick, a control stick, instead of using a
Pad.
D-pad force.
Yeah. They added the player search system. It was a multiplayer feature that allowed you to connect, battle, and trade over the internet.
Ooh.
Uh, Pokemon Me feature
Okay.
that allowed you to build stronger bonds with Pokemon. You could like pet and feed your Pokemon. There were sky battles, which I absolutely could not stand.
Yeah,
Uh,
Sky Battles
that was
felt just like a little weird and one-sided.
yeah. They had horde encounters and moves would now hit everything in the screen, like rock slide.
That was pretty
Uh,
cool.
Also, extremely important for competitive Pokemon super training.
Ooh, what is that?
It's a way to quickly increase Pokemon EVs. You
Okay.
can do it. You can do it in Scarlet Violet by going to the guy next to the Abomasnow.
Okay.
I forgot the name of the city. It's the one of the ice ones on the mountain.
I'm not 100% sure.
But yeah, you could customize your trainer's appearance.
Oh, that's right. You could change the trainer's
Uh,
outfit in this game for the first
yeah,
time, which was
which was really
huge.
cool.
Yeah.
Um, I and then megas. I think that's all of the new stuff.
The Mega Evolution thing, that was people have been clamoring for Mega Evolution since Mega Evolution, and the fact that it's coming back in Pokemon Legends ZA is absolutely just god tier.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that
I
game.
think were more pumped about Mega Evolution than Fairy type.
Yeah, well, so a lot of people really hated the fairy type when it first came out.
Well,
Like myself included. I
yeah,
was like,
of
why
course.
does this exist?
I I I still get confused by Fairy type sometimes.
Yeah, it has weird interactions because it
Th-
is like
There's a lot of like one way
yeah,
interactions with Fairy.
like resistant to but not super effective against
Right.
and stuff like that.
And my
Um
boomer brain can't handle that kind of shenanigans.
we had to learn the steel and dark types too.
Yeah, but those came out like 2 years after the original games came out, and we had enough time to adapt, improvise, and overcome.
Yes.
Also,
Well
there were
said.
only like 4 dark type Pokemon in Gen 2, and like 2 steel type Pokemon.
You had Steelix and Scizor.
Yep, and how often did you ever really get to use them main game?
Never.
Right. And then with dark type, it's like Sneasel. What a
And Murkrow.
You had Murkrow, which was practically post game. Houndour and Houndoom post game.
Yeah.
Tyranitar post game.
Wait, I thought you could catch a Houndour early.
Kanto only in Gold and Silver.
Huh.
Yeah, I think Murkrow was either Kanto exclusive or you could get it like late, like near Blackthorn City. Um, I'm trying to. Oh, Umbreon, I guess, is the only good
Yeah, I
early
used Umbreon.
Umbreon. That's valid. That one's pretty good.
But yeah. Safari was a new type. It changed the way that you played the game a lot,
Mm-hmm.
especially competitive. It single-handedly dunked on one of the strongest types in the game,
It
which
said
was
Hydwagon.
right. It said Bidwagon.
Bidwagon.
Ugh.
See you later. Now, there's a thing that happens in every Pokemon generation, and that is while you're growing through your Pokemon journey, you have just one pain in your butt that's always popping up to challenge you to battles, to call you a stinker and to smell you later, and then to generally harass you, sometimes with physical violence.
Yeah, you had a squad in this game.
You get assaulted by a team of hooligans over the course of this entire game. This game, they said, not one rival, not two rivals, but like a team of, is it 3, 4, 5?
I think it's technically 3. You've got Tierno, Serena, and Callum. Well, there's Trevor too.
And Shauna. I think there's
Oh
5.
yeah,
I think you have 5 bozos following you around, annoying
I,
you.
but there's usually 3 of them together, right?
I believe Shauna, Tierno, and Trevor are typically together, but then Serena slash Calum, whoever, like Serena is the girl main character, Calum's the boy
Callum's the
main.
boy,
So
right?
depending on who you pick, the opposite will be like your main rival. But then you'll get Shauna, Tierno, and Trevor goofing around, doing
Yeah.
some shenanigans as well. Uh, they'll follow you around and I don't know, they dance sometimes. Sometimes they'll challenge you to battles.
One of them likes to dance a lot more than he likes to battle.
There's a lot of power friendship going on with this current squad here.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But
I thought that was extra goofy when I played the game,
it it
but
it almost like took me out of it a little bit because it was so silly.
yeah, it was just extra goofy.
Um
But you got roller skates, and that was enough for me to be like, I am having fun with this.
they were like running shoes. Nah, we are rollerblading now. We are speed wagon wheeling and dealing, which is good stuff. This generation also introduced us to something really important, something that hadn't been done since Gen 1.
Ooh, what's that?
And that is the theory that a hot professor is important. So,
Oh,
so we've got
who was the professor in this game? I'm forgetting.
it's Professor Sycamore.
Oh,
And this is
yeah.
they're like tall and handsome professor. That's what we got to do. We got to make that happen. Because
also
we're
they
coming off
made
of,
Professor Sycamore like the French professor.
not only is he French, he's so handsome. Like they gave him like luscious locks. They gave him like just a real dapper outfit. And I mean, he called you on your phone like once every 5 minutes for the first like 3 hours of the game. Because there was like some
Oh
weird
man,
video phone thing that you had in the game as well.
Bill, there's a lot of fan art of Professor
You,
Sycamore.
oh no, like I know there is, but it shouldn't. There shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just
Sorry that the internet exists. It's really problematic.
yeah, I can't fix that.
Well, I bet you there is some of the same fan art that overlaps with another brand new character that was brought into this game, and that is the leader of the antagonist team, which there is one of in every Pokemon game. We're talking about Team Flare and its bearded, red-headed, fiery leader. How do you even pronounce it? Lysandra?
I think it's Lysander.
Lysander?
That's
Lysan?
like, I mean, if you were gonna say it in French, I think it'd be Lysander. Lysander.
I mean, I don't know. I'm always gonna dog on someone who carries a pyroar with them. So he's
Nah, if you're gonna dog on someone, dog on the weirdest member of that team.
the weirdest member of Team Flare, and how it's not Lysander.
It is not even close to him.
Who is it?
Zero, Zarisic, whatever his name is.
All right, now you're just
Do you not
making.
remember what? Do you not remember the head like people under Lysander? How weird they were.
I mean, first of all,
This
they're.
guy is like albino, but he's gray. He looks like a robot.
Ugh, I don't remember
He's
him
the
at
one that
all.
runs. He like runs the Lysander labs or something.
Oh, that's I don't like that at all. I
Oh
remember
my
there were a
god.
couple of like non-red haired ragamuffins that were a part of the top team that were
Yeah,
like elite trainers within the squad.
but he's the one that like
But I don't remember like
led them.
a weird gray guy.
He
I
had
don't.
red hair,
Oh, he had red hair.
but he was extra weird.
There's always weird, extra weird guys.
I'm
What was
telling you.
now? What was the whole? What were they trying to do, Team Flare? Because sometimes they're just trying to, these enemy teams are just trying to catch Pokemon for money. Sometimes they're trying to get rid of all of the earth or water on the planet. And sometimes they're just like a couple of kids that are like borderline homeless.
Yeah, or just annoying fans.
What
Team
are they
Flare is
here?
confusing though. They're stealing a bunch of items to try and make this special device, and they're doing all this research. Lysander is like, I'm gonna blow up the world with my super laser. It's it's complicated.
Is this the first
He's
time that like a a team is like threatening physical violence towards humans in the terms of
uh,
like
I mean Giovanni did that,
kinda, yeah. Well,
but it was
yeah,
secondary. His primary motive wasn't the violence. His primary motive was let's get some bread.
that money and power.
Lysander is just like, I'm gonna revive the super weapon from. Actually, I think it's literally called the ultimate weapon.
It is called the ultimate weapon.
But he wants to. I forget why he needs one of the legendaries, but he like wants to steal their power or something, and he wants to like. If I remember correctly, he wants to like blow up Earth or whatever the
So
name of the world is.
so
But
if
I never really understood exactly what his goal was.
if I'm remembering correctly, so it played out a little bit differently in Pokemon X and in Pokemon Y. I think in Pokemon Y, he was trying to harness the power of Yveltal's destructive force to destroy the world. Um, and then he was gonna like rebuild the world in his name or whatever. But then like he was gonna use the power of Xerneas to blow up the world, but like with love and rainbows. And then like it was very weird and a little convoluted. And also he kidnapped a 3,000-year-old man in the process, which was kind of weird. And that 3,000-year-old man, of course, is AZ, who is just a tall guy with his own little flower buddy. And why is he alive at 3,000 years old? Nobody knows. But he's just vibing.
I thought that he like got energy or something from the ultimate weapon.
As
Yeah,
maybe?
because he is like the Was he the one that he was the king at the time who made the weapon? Or was he the one that was trying to stop the weapon being used?
He, geez, he probably was. Ah, you know
He
what?
he built the ultimate weapon.
He built the ultimate weapon.
Yeah, because he feels
Okay.
like extra guilty about it, and he's like talking about how like he lost his Pokemon because of his
Was he like
selfish
doomed
choices.
to roam the earth? Was that like his like ethereal punishment?
I guess.
And like the ghost of Az was just was he a ghost the whole time? Was he just trying to like atone for his sins as a ghost? It just feels
I
like
it, it should be noted that this is the one Pokemon story that I could not follow.
it I think it's because it's frankly just like poorly written and super like kind of dumb. It's a
Okay,
little.
I'm reading up on something now because it's relevant. 3,000 years before the start of the story, Az served as the king of the Kalos region. He had been given a floet by his late mother and loved it dearly. It was forcefully taken away by soldiers to take part in an ongoing war. Tragically, his floet lost its life during the war and was sent back to AZ in a box, which devastated him. He vowed to revive his beloved Pokemon, built a device that restored his floet back to life at the cost of the lives of other Pokemon. As a result of the device's effect, Az was rendered immortal and massive.
Yeah,
Despite
because
having
he's
brought back
like
his
10
floet, he
feet
remained
tall.
vengeful at the war for his floet's demise and reconstructed the device into the ultimate weapon, which he used to destroy both sides of the conflict and end the war. His floet, however, was horrified at the truth behind its returning and left Az unable to see the trainer it once knew. Feeling regret for what he had done, Az traveled to find Floet to start the relationship over to make amends for his mistake. This would ultimately take 3,000 years.
I'm
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie, I hate all of that. That's
yeah, this game.
this is supposed to be a game about me taking my Froakie and using tackle attack on the local little bird until he's a Greninja.
Yeah, it was. Wow, what a story.
I
Um, so
I'm
I
glad
don't even know
stories
what
are
to say.
I'm glad they're so much less complicated now. I'm glad that sometimes it's not that deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, Scarlet Violet's story was fun, and it was basically go on an adventure and do cool things. By
Yeah.
the way, uh, prevent these ruinous Pokemon from falling to the wrong hands. By the way, what is this weird energy stuff that's happening? Uh, there are Pokemon popping up. It could be dangerous. Help!
I I
But
think they
it's
just
all
kind of
stuff like that.
I think they just like got caught up in the kitchen cooking this story and just kind of they went a little too buck wild with it. I'll be frank. You can be
Thaws
mad.
Buckwild.
So yeah, Az was a weird guy. Now,
There
you,
was.
you know, otherwise this game plays like a pretty straightforward Pokemon game. You go, you collect your 8 badges, you beat the enemy team, you go face the Elite 4. If you're lucky, you'll remember 2 or 3 of these gym leaders. I
I
don't know
I
why, but it is one of just I it also is the in all fairness, the least recent Pokemon game I've played. I think period right now. Like
Yeah, I've never replayed XY.
I
Now
have
that I
never
think about it.
replayed XY. Um well, I don't remember cuz it came out while we were doing let's playing and stuff like that. So I don't remember if like we let's played it but then also played it on our own sort of thing. It was kind of a weird era there.
Yeah, I think
2013.
you
I think
I
I
think you LP'd it.
I
I did
think
not.
either I LP'd it or I started to LP it and then
No, I know you did because I remember you narrating like Ultimate Weapon stuff or something.
oh, okay.
And I think I was there for parts of it.
That has to be correct because we you were you and I were living close together at that point in time.
Yeah.
But geez, what an impact that story had.
It had an impact on me, but the impact was, I don't know what's going on. Somebody please help.
I need an adult.
Yeah.
Also, why is there a guy dressed as a knight in armor in the Elite Four?
I mean, that I thought was funny.
Do you remember his name, by the way?
Nope.
All right. Get ready for this. Wickstrom. Like, they're just throwing Scrabble letters at a wall right now. Let's
see. You had Malva. Malva, I remembered. Wickstrom, I forgot existed. Dresna,
Who?
I forgot existed. She's the dragon one.
Cybold?
One of my.
I don't remember any of these.
I forgot all of them except for. I forgot that Diantha was the champion too. I had forgotten all of them except for Malva.
And not for nothing, Diantha's team is one of the like best Elite Four gym teams. Period.
Also, I thought that Malva was part of Team Flare.
Malva looks like she's in Team Flare. She's dressed in red. She's got the red sunglasses.
She was a member of Team Flare.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Prior to the organization's disbandment. Got it. Okay.
So
makes sense.
On top of some of the mechanics that we already mentioned, a couple of other mechanics that were involved in this game was the ability, one, to ride Pokemon.
Oh yeah, you could ride Go-Go.
You could ride around on Go-Go and Skiddo and even Rhyhorn in this game.
Yeah, there were ride Pokemon, and you could ride them around. And there were certain segments in like the story where you needed to ride on a Pokemon or something.
They also added a couple of unique ways to evolve Pokemon.
Oh god, the Malamar thing.
One of which
I forgot about that.
The most insane, and it's even carried over.
Malamar.
It's Malamar. Inkay into Malamar. How do you evolve Inkay into Malamar?
You had to level it up while it was upside down.
While what was upside down?
The 3DS was upside down.
So you're saying you had to take your game system, flip it upside down, and that is the way that you evolved it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. They make you do that in Pokemon Go as well. Inkay's all over the place. And
in Scarlet Violet.
Wait, oh yeah, that is the dumbest, by the way, because
you have to flip it up. You have to flip your controller or the Switch upside down.
As a docked only Nintendo Switch player, I feel like that is a crime.
You have to flip. I think it's the controller. You have to flip the controller upside down.
You have to take it out of the dock.
You have to?
Yeah.
I was playing handheld for that, and I just flipped it upside down.
Yeah, you have to take it out of the dock. It is a GD crime, and I was so mad. It really ground my gears. Now, we've done a lot of kind of dogging on Pokemon X and Y.
There's a lot to love about it, though, too.
Right, there's a lot to love. It may have one of the strongest rosters of new Pokemon ever to grace a Pokemon game.
Yeah, and also, did you know it was the highest rated Pokemon game?
By Metacritic?
Yeah, it got a 90%. It was it got the highest rating, which makes sense because mechanically the game was amazing.
It's great, yeah.
For your first foray into actual 3D on a handheld, they killed it. The
visuals were insane. Absolutely.
It was super good visuals. There was I didn't experience a single glitch or slowdown or anything like that aside from the ultimate weapon.
Yeah.
But everything else, it didn't chug along.
They scaled the game to huge proportions. The game was huge.
We didn't even talk about the coolest thing in the game.
What's the coolest thing in the game?
The most important city.
Are you talking about Lumiose City?
Yeah, it made such a great level in Smash.
Oh man. So Lumiose City is the main hub city that you end up visiting several times in the game. And as we mentioned earlier, the game takes place in the region of Kalos, which is based on France, and Lumio City is based on welcome to Paris, Paris, France. Get that weird French guy out of here. He's a bad impersonator of French people. Shoo.
Yeah, seriously.
Me.
Wow.
But yeah, so Lumio City is based on Paris, France, and there's a big old dang old tower.
I wonder what that's supposed to represent.
Statue of Liberty, obviously.
You know, that's true. They did donate the Statue of Liberty to the U.S.
Yeah, and say the French never gave us anything. They gave us liberty.
As a statue.
As a statue. True.
That part's relevant. Extra relevant that it was a statue.
Biggest feet in the country.
Probably. Eat your heart out, weirdos.
Hey, we don't feet shame here. We might. I don't know. I haven't read the rules and regulations of the podcast lately.
On Twitch, all things are possible.
Very true. Very true. Guarantee you there's a streamer right now on Twitch doing foot stuff. For all the kids to see.
All right, mission abort. What's so Lumio City.
Yeah. Tell me about it. What's your favorite part about Lumio City?
I'm gonna give you the part I didn't like first, and then I'm gonna give you the parts I liked, because there's more I liked than I didn't.
All right.
The thing I didn't like was the fact that you were hamstrung on how you navigated, and because it was so big and you were forced to like go around it a particular way. Like, remember how like there were certain exits and entrances that were closed?
Yeah.
I had a hard time navigating.
Okay.
Because certain things would open and close, so I couldn't...
a lot of parts of town were like under construction during certain story time.
Right, which is
makes sense.
Relevant because for ZA, like it's the big reconstruction and the history of France. It's super interesting actually for Paris. Paris is like one of the oldest cities on the planet. I didn't know that. Thank you, Loxton and Noggin. But there was a massive reconstruction project where they just leveled Paris and were like, we're going to rebuild it now because Eiffel Tower. And the people that were living in a bunch of different places, they were just like, your house is no longer your house. Good luck with that. And they just would level it.
That's kind of
crazy.
Insane,
crazy. Yeah. So I don't know how that story ends, honestly, like how we get to now from there. But point is, there's reconstruction and construction's a thing in Paris. I think they did a really good job with the feel of the city, though. It feels huge.
Yeah.
And importantly, you can go into buildings and interact with people while it's huge, which is like my biggest gripe with Scarlet Violet, aside from the obvious, the game hiccups all the time issues.
Sure.
But you can go into buildings. It feels like a city that people live in.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
And like there's just so much detail. Like the streets have this cobblestone pavement. They're lined with these trees. And you can buy street food. You can buy street food. There's vendors all over the place. It feels like a lived-in city, which is so much more impressive than what they did with, what was it, Castelia City in Pokemon Black and White, where like it had the veneer of this huge location.
But it didn't feel like it.
And then you take Lumios, which not only did you have like this like gigantic city, but like there were different camera angles depending on what part of the city you were in, and there was just so much life in the city, and it just felt really, really cool, and it was just very pretty and well done.
The NPCs were unique too, though. Like I distinctly remember playing it and laughing at one point because I was just walking around trying to talk to everybody, and there's like hordes of people walking that you cannot interact with, but there are ones that you can.
Mm-hmm.
And there's little side quests related to a bunch of these random people that are just walking around doing things.
Yeah.
And they're not just walking back and forth on a path. They're walking through the city and you can stop and interact with them. Like there's a guy on his way to work and he realizes he forgets a thing, and if you have it, you can give one of that item to him and he gives you something as like a reward. Like there is so many cool things that popped up while playing in specifically that city. Like there are people that had daily schedules, people that would appear at night versus day. Like there were just so many cool things. Like the
Yeah.
scope of this game was actually crazy, given it was the first time they went into 3D on a handheld.
Like this was probably the biggest leap that Pokemon had made since what, Gen 2 to Gen 3, maybe?
I would argue it was a bigger leap than that.
Maybe Gen 1 to Gen 2?
Probably, yeah. Because Gen 1 to Gen 2 added a second world by having replay after the main one. You know, you have
Right.
two regions. But this was like, in terms of the actual production of the game,
Yeah.
it was huge. The scope
Enormous.
change, like
Enormous.
like Platinum, there was a lot going on, but they had a new game engine. They changed the graphics. It's no longer using sprites. They went from sprites to 3D models. That was the first 3D model game
Right.
for the handhelds, and they remade all of the Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sun Moon managed to somehow make all of that worse,
I don't know
but
how.
whatever.
That impressive work, Sun and Moon. Like,
Yeah, like
God
Twinkle
bless.
Tackle.
God
That's all I'm
bless.
gonna say. Twinkle Tackle. All I'm saying. Like Jesus, but it was like it's. I don't know. Like I know that of the games, it ranks really far down on my favorites list.
Yeah.
But I was just so impressed at what they made. Like the story detracted from it a ton for me,
Yep.
but the moment to moment stuff, like just I was like I remember like when I first got to the area that was icy and I was on ice skates or I was like skating and I was just like sitting there like this looks so cool.
Yeah.
And I just had so much fun moving around and
I listen, how often did you, while you were running around on your rollerblades, just like spin the stick and force your
yeah.
character to just like do like a little spin in place thing,
Yeah, the pirouette.
a little pirouette? It was great. It was so fun, and it was so, just felt so good to do, you know?
Yeah, the story was whack, but the game felt like it was made with love. And then following that, it didn't really feel like that was the case anymore. Like I feel like
Right.
after XY is when all of the games started to feel rushed. It didn't. This game did not feel rushed at
No.
all.
I mean, this game was the most polished Pokemon game to date.
Yeah, which
And
is wild.
like waited for its time, probably is the most polished Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Like, this was probably the last Pokemon game where there were like, this this looks good for the year that it's being released right now.
Oh, it looked great. It wasn't
Right.
just good. I was
It
actually
was
impressed.
incredible. Yeah, it was really well done.
For the record, I
Yeah.
was looking this up. Production took 500 people if you include localization.
Wow.
That
That's
is a
that's
lot more.
that's
Like
about 50
the
times the number of people that Game Freak is willing to pay to work on a Pokemon game at a single time these days.
For reference, I looked up a similar stat and it was in the upper hundreds, like hundred and something for Sun Moon was what I found. That
That's
could be
crazy.
like I could be missing localization staff, but add 100 for localization and you're still only at 300 if you round up.
Insane.
So it's clear that they put all their eggs in this basket and they were like, this is it. Now, it makes sense because at that time they were not making any console games.
Sure.
But look at what they were able to produce when they put all of their effort into that.
Incredible work.
Yeah,
Just
it was
incredible work.
crazy.
Dang. Now, I think it's time. Now,
Oh, you
Matt,
ready?
Matt and I have discussed a plan here,
Oh, I'm
and
excited.
because of how cool these Pokemon are, Matt and I are going to draft our top 10 Pokemon each from this generation, with a couple of caveats. One, we're only allowed one Mega Evolution apiece. Two, we're only allowed one Legendary apiece, which gives us 8 other slots to fill with some incredible Pokemon. We're gonna save the Megas and the Legendaries for last, just so
Per Bill's
for my
recommendation.
recommendation, just to add a little suspense. And as the host, I ever so graciously conceded the first overall pick to Matt. And it's not for my own selfish ways. I actually conceded the option.
Yeah, it is important to note that you gave me the option of going first or second and third.
Right.
Um, and I felt strongly about going first originally because I thought I was going to get first pick at Megas.
I mean, if you want to change it up right now, it's not too
But
late.
I'm gonna stick with it.
But I think there's a
I think there
clear
is a Pokemon that's first
I
place.
think there is a Pokemon that is just number 1 overall, and then it starts to get into splitting hairs.
Okay, I want to see what you would have picked first. I'm gonna on 3. I want to see if we get the same thing because we haven't actually talked about the list yet.
It's
Because we
true.
wanted to see who could draft a better list.
I already typed
Right.
it out for you, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Where, in Discord or where?
No, in my little draft list. I already have it typed out for you. I already
Oh my
know what your
God.
Pokemon is. You want me to pick it for you? I can't see that. Is your number 1 pick the Smash Brothers legend Greninja?
Yeah, Greninja. Yep.
It's Greninja.
Okay. First pick is Greninja. I got Greninja.
Yeah, Greninja, that's free. That is
All right. Let's
so incredibly free. Like, you may win this draft based on Greninja alone.
go.
Like, that's how free
Greninja
Greninja
is
is.
such a sick Pokemon.
It's easily, it's Megas and Legends included. Greninja is the best Pokemon in this generation. It's so cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it's such a good Pokemon. They literally fused him with Ash Ketchum.
I know the Ash's Greninja was so sick.
Ash Greninja's insane. And the
It's
fact that
also just really, really powerful.
yeah, it's
Like, you realize it's like legendary power level.
oh, it's one of the strongest Pokemon in the game. Period. Like, it is just that Borg. It has like one of the most insane abilities too.
Protean.
Is that what Ash Greninja's ability is?
I think that's the regular one. I'm looking up Ash Greninja now to see.
I think it's Battle Bond. No.
Yeah, it has the Ash Greninja is Battle Bond.
So it just like buffs every time it KOs a Pokemon, and
yeah,
then
which was crazy.
right, it was hyper broken when it first came out. It's much
The
more.
regular one has Protean. Protean is also broken.
It's a very, very good ability.
And also, you could give it Tauren, but Protean's nuts because it changes its type to the move it's using.
Yeah.
So you would just make it an attacker with 4 different types of moves, and you're
It's
just
so
like, bah, bah, bah,
so
bah.
powerful.
Oh my god, so good.
So you've
also,
got
I
yeah.
just love Greninja. It's so sick.
Greninja's sick.
It's
Greninja's
mega.
sick.
I just
Yeah, no,
so cool.
it's great. It's great. Now, my next 2 picks.
Okay.
My
Now
first 2
I'm
picks.
curious. Can I guess what I think you're gonna pick?
I feel like I have to take a certain specific Pokemon.
You're picking Hawlucha and something, and if I had to pick a something second, I feel like you're gonna go for Hawlucha and Tyrantrum.
I actually am gonna go a little bit different route here.
Ah,
I like where your head's at, but my first overall pick, my 1 slot, and then I feel like this is, this could be like just an underrated pick, could be an overrated pick. I think I go Sylveon here.
oh, that's what I was gonna pick next.
I think Sylveon's
Oh.
the move at 1,
All right.
and then I snake around, and I snag Hawlucha on the back
Okay.
end. I think Sylveon into Hawlucha is the combo I have to go with here.
I had you picking Sylveon after those two.
And I think that's fair. Also, I mean,
Okay.
Tyrantrum's a strong contender too, and I imagine that he's now off the board. But it is
Actually,
time for
he's
your.
still on the board, but he's on my list.
It is your second and third pick
Okay.
now.
My second and third are Aegislash and Chestnut.
Ooh. Okay.
Aegislash is well, first of all, give me an explanation for why you wanted Hawlucha and Sylveon, Bill.
Okay, so I think first of all, Sylveon, it's an EV evolution. That is such a layup. There just aren't bad EV evolutions outside
There's
of
one.
Glaceon and Leafeon.
Whoa. Glaceon is cool. We're cool with Glaceon.
Why are we not cool with Leafeon?
Grass type is my favorite type, and it looks so lame.
I'm not gonna lie, shiny Leafeon kind of goes hard.
No, but like, they could have made the leaves like into like feather. They could have feathered the leaves, and instead it just looks like grass with random leaves sticking out, and it's just like
Sure.
random. And there's like a butt leaf, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, you can't just have it showing its pooper on the screen. That would be a little bit ridiculous. Come on now.
Okay. Anyway,
But
Sylveon, I feel like was a layup.
Sylveon, that's
Sylveon was
also
next on my list.
S tier shiny. Hawlucha also has an S tier shiny, by the way.
Also Transrates.
Also Transrites. Let's go.
You want to talk about a Pokemon that has reach outside of the game?
Sylveon,
Sylveon's
baby.
strong.
Uh,
Also, Pokemon Unite, Sylveon, and all of the evolutions are pretty good.
Yeah, tough to go wrong with an evolution. Hawlucha. Now, Hawlucha is one of those picks where it's like, I think at face value, like an outsider would see Hawlucha and be like, just some sort of bird. But no. First of all, it's a luchador. Second,
it also has something unique to it that no other Pokemon had ever had before it.
It has a double type attack called Flying Press that does flying and fighting type damage, which is psychotic and amazing and literally perfectly on brand for a luchador, a hawk luchador, if you will.
It's
so good. It's so flavorful. It's so spicy. I want it forever. It is maybe my favorite Pokemon from X and Y. And that's
I don't know why it was introduced in XY. I think it's weird that the Luchador Pokemon is introduced in France, not in the United States or in Scarlet Violet, but Hawlucha's sick.
I think they just came up with it on accident and they were like, "Oh wait, this goes hard. This is raw. We need this."
That's fair. All right.
So you've got Aegislash and Chestnut at your 2 and 3.
Okay, so I think my favorite Pokemon in the generation is Chestnut.
Okay.
I'll explain that in a sec. Aegislash, I think, is insane because, one, it had stances, which I'm pretty sure was the first Pokemon that did that.
I think it was. It might still be, no?
No, there's other Pokemon that technically have stances.
Sure.
But, it had different forms based on stances.
Okay.
And you had the shield form and the blade form. And first of all, it's so sick. It's a possessed sword and shield from a warlord.
It's cool.
That cuts down its enemies. It's freaking BA. But anyways.
It was in my top 10.
Oh, it's so sick. But it also has reach outside of just the game itself because I'm pretty sure it was a Pokeball Pokemon in one of the Smashes. But
it may have been in Smash 4?
I think so. I could be wrong. But it's also in Pokemon, or it's in Pokken.
Okay.
And it has stance switching.
Oh, that's cool.
As an ability in the game, which is amazing. It also
in a fighting game, that's so flavorful.
Right. It's oh my god. Pokken I'm so mad at the fact that they did not do more with Pokken because that game was freaking awesome. Anyways, I'm getting heated here.
Commit.
Tyler and Gianna like Pokken. Pokken is such a okay. Best song. If you haven't heard the Magikarp stage music,
I have not.
it is a legitimate jam. It's so good. It's like a techno jam. It's way too epic for Magikarps.
Oh heck yeah!
It is quite possibly one of the best, like most epic songs Pokemon's ever made.
Nice.
And it was in Pokken for Magikarp. Anyways, it's the Magikarp Festival theme. Moving on. Aegislash has stance switches though. In the card game,
yeah,
Aegislash, one of its things is protection from attacks because of the shield form.
Sure.
But it's one of the first Pokemon where they give alternate versions of it in the same set because of the fact that it's got the different stances.
That's cool. That's really cool.
So when they make like Aegislash, like EX, Aegislash V, etc., they'll usually focus more on one half than the other, but try to kind of include both. But for the regular ones, they'll give it a stance.
Yeah.
And they'll make the two stances sometimes in the same set.
Okay.
Which there's just a lot of cool things because of the stance switch mechanic.
Yeah.
But also, Chestnut next. Chestnut is, I think, my favorite Pokemon in the game. It was obviously my starter because it was a grass type, even though I think Greninja is the de facto coolest Pokemon in the gen.
That's fair.
Chestnut had Spiky Shield.
That was a cool move.
And Chestnut also, by the lore, do you know the lore behind Chestnut?
All I know is that he's a chestnut knight.
Yes, but do you know do you know how it does its fighting?
Does it roll into a ball?
Its back is a shield, right?
Right, a spiked shield.
But it turns its hands into the spiky shield because it's got spikes on the back of its hands.
Right.
So it'll go like this, like Wakanda style.
Sure.
And block with its hands, and then back punch with the spikes on its hands.
Big counter.
It uses
energy.
like cross chops and stuff. Its whole thing is it's a counter Pokemon. They don't like to fight. They're like gentle, but because it's got thorns, they're not spikes. They're thorns.
Yeah.
Because it's got thorns, it's like you come to me.
Yeah.
And its like whole thing is protecting things, and when it fights back, its counterattacks are really strong. It had a ridiculous defense stat. Its attack stat was good, but it had Spiky Shield, and it also had the ability. I think it was called Bulletproof. It had like the generic like, in a pinch grass moves get
overgrow.
stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like the default thing they always give.
Right.
But Bulletproof is cool because it protects it from like bullets, like a shield move. Like,
yeah,
if there was a move that had like a ball or like a puff or an explosion, like it would protect it from that.
Bulletproof protects Pokemon from some ball and bomb moves. So like I'm guessing like Seed Bomb, Egg Bomb.
But think about like Aura Sphere. Shadow Ball.
Like,
what? Is there a list of moves for this? I bet there is.
There probably is.
Chestnut. Bulletproof. Okay, I found the list. I had Chestnut's page open on Bulbapedia. It protects from Acid Spray, Aura Sphere, Barrage, Beak Blast, Bullet Seed, Egg Bomb, Electro Ball, Energy Ball, Focus Blast. I did not know that, but that makes sense because
now when you say protects, does it like lower?
They're not affected.
Oh, 0% effective.
Yeah, I did not know this. It prevents being healed by an ally's Pollen Puff because it's an explosion.
That's a ball.
Puff.
Yeah.
Gyro Ball, Ice Ball, Magnet Bomb, Mist Ball, Mud Bomb, Octazooka. Didn't know that one. Pollen Puff, Pyro Ball.
Yeah.
Rock Blast, not in the first one, but in the ones after. So not in Gen 6, but following that, Rock Blast is included. Rock Wrecker, Searing Shot, Seed Bomb, Syrup Bomb, Shadow Ball, which is the one that I cared about, and Sludge Bomb, which was super important because it's a grass
Grass
type.
type,
And
yeah.
Sludge Bomb was the best poison move at the time. And Weather Ball and Zap Cannon.
That's a
And
lot of
it
moves.
protects from all of those moves, and a bunch of those were good against it. I
He's
don't
a
know.
good
Just
mon.
Chestnut's so cool. Okay, sorry, I took forever on that. That's my bad. Chestnut is so cool, and it's a grass fighting type.
Grass
Like
fighting type.
grass fighting is such a sick combo. Okay, I'm sorry.
Move over,
Floor's yours.
Breloom.
Breloom is one of my favorite Pokemon. Chestnut's up there with Breloom.
That's fair.
Okay, I got
4?
really excited about that. Way more excited
That's
than I
okay.
thought I would.
It's okay.
After this one, the excitement's gonna be a lot lower.
Listen, it's because I'm gonna take your 2 next Pokemon.
Let's hear it.
All right. The next 2 Pokemon that I am taking in this draft, I am gonna start with the king.
Oh.
I'm taking Tyrantrum. The Tyrant.
Okay.
Tyrantrum is a rock dragon, big old T-Rex dinosaur that goes stomp, stomp, boom. I'm gonna get you. And you may get me, but I'm gonna get mine as well. He's just a big mamma jamma. He's a T-Rex. He looks cool as all get out.
Yeah, Tyrantrum is sick.
High strong, he's just big strong
And he's
guy.
dragon. He's rock dragon.
Rock dragon. It's so sick. I
What a
feel
cool
like I
type combo.
feel like I don't really have to explain it more than that. He's just one of the coolest Pokemon. This next,
It was good at bite moves. Was its thing, right?
he had like a strong jaw ability or
Or
something
was
like
it
that. I don't know.
Strong Jaw? What does Strong Jaw do? Let's find out.
Well, I don't think
Strong Jaw.
Was it called Strong Jaw?
Oh, that's what it's called.
I was just talking out of my B end, but it was I think it's like
guess.
a 50% buff to bites or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It also had Rockhead. I didn't know that. Rockhead is the no recoil damage, which makes sense because I'm pretty sure it had like some tackle move or something.
Probably had like takedown, double edge.
I think there was a rock one like that though, wasn't there? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's cool though. All right, moving on.
My next pick though, Tyrantrum, number 3. I think this is where we're starting to like get a little spicy with our picks here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Trevenant.
Oh, that was on my next.
I think I'm going with Trevenant. Again, I've always been a huge fan of like cool looking Pokemon, and Trevenant is a grass ghost haunted tree monster that is just so cool. And I like him. I like him a lot. He's a spooky little ghost guy. And he's just a lot of, and that's hurting Matt's soul because Matt wanted Trevenant.
Matt and Sylveon are the 2 that you took from me.
Well,
Hawlucha and Tyrantrum, I had conceded to you. I was like, he's going to take them before me. He's going to rank them higher than I will. I can just tell.
That's fair.
I was right on those. I didn't think Trevenant was going to go next. I thought you were going to go for like one of the dragons next.
No, Trevenant's too cool to pass up.
All right.
So and now
Trevenant, lore-wise, let's see. Trevenant is a tree revenant, as its name implies. What was its ability? Natural Cure.
He's just a haunted tree.
Heals upon switching out. And also it had Harvest? What is Harvest? May create another berry after one is used. That's sick.
Pretty cool.
Okay.
So what's your next pick? Pick number 4 in your draft.
Oh no. You're gonna do this to me.
Did you delete your list?
No, I closed a page. I'm gonna reopen it. I had the Pokedex open. I wanted to check something really quick. I'll do that after I make my picks. I'm going for Kangoro and Noivern.
Ooh, nice. Pangoro's really cool.
I love Noivern. Noivern is probably my second favorite Pokemon from the gen.
It was not in
But
my
it does
top
not
15.
get a lot of love though.
Yeah, it was
All right.
definitely not in my top 15. I
Um,
do think that newer generations make it worse than it was back in Gen 6 though.
yeah, I
Like
thought it was really cool.
I thought it was highly annoying in Scarlet and Violet.
So do you remember when I made a Noivern Tailwind team when we were
Mm-mm.
playing each other back in
Oh!
Sword Shield?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I love Noivern. Noivern's so sick. Noivern, as its name implies,
Like the
is a
normal type
noise
of
wyvern.
dragons.
You have Noibat that evolves into Noivern,
Yep.
which is the noise wyvern. Uh, its thing is speed and sound. Its ears are speakers,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
and it does like sound blast attacks. It's not now. Don't get me wrong. It's not very good. On a
It's fine.
like the competitive scale, it's not super good, but
Yeah.
it's really cool. Its speed stats very high, but I thought it was really cool that you had like a sound dragon. It's also black and purple, and I really like the color purple, and it has teal as its accent color, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't honestly remember a ton beyond that, but
Mhm.
I just thought it was super cool.
Yeah.
Um, and the other one, Pangoro.
Pangoro.
Pangoro was in my playthrough of the game.
It's like a combo between what, a panda and a gorilla?
Uh, Pangoro is so it evolves from Pancham. I know it's a panda, but I don't know what the other part was.
Is Goro just
It's
big?
I thought it was supposed to be like a human panda because it's got the whole like
Got
uh
fists?
whatever right, but it also it's like Pangoro to me is like the opposite of Chestnut. It's a dark type, so it's weak to fighting type.
Right.
Um, but its whole thing is that it's just like a jerk. It's got like a cape of dark fur.
I mean, he's fighting dark type, which is just a really cool combo. And he's just like a cool looking panda. He's not like a cute panda. He's a
Right,
panda that's going to just wreck your life and
right.
make you want to cry.
Like according to the Pokedex entry for it, it says it has a violent temperament, but it won't put up with bullying. It's like the anti-hero. So in my head, the head canon is that Chestnut and Pangoro are like
But they're
the
like two sides
the
of the same coin.
yeah, they're like the yin and yang of heroes in the game. And this is probably corny, but I don't really care.
Like
It's my take.
Chestnut is like the chivalrous like white knight,
Right. And Pangoro
and
is the one that's like
Pangoro's
it's waiting in the alleyway and it sees somebody like trying to like jump an old lady and Pangoro jumps out and just punches them in the
literally
face.
Batman and Superman.
That's a really good analogy. Yes. That is exact. So I always thought Pangoro was awesome. I
Yeah.
had it. I had Chestnut and
Pan-
Pangoro
Pangoro does
on
lurk
my
in the
team.
shadows. That is 1000% accurate.
Yeah, it's another one that I thought was super cool. I didn't have Noivern in the file because dragons are always super annoying to have in your base playthrough
Yeah,
because the levels
sure.
have to be really high. But yeah, all right, that's my 4-5.
All
All
right.
right, so if that's now picked, and you got that, you're taking. I'm gonna make a guess. You're gonna take Talonflame in your next two. I could be wrong.
I hate that you called that.
That's
But
next. That's next on my list is Talonflame
Talon
because you.
Talonflame is literally my number 5 pick.
Oh,
Talonflame.
let's go. All
I
right.
mean, like, I mean, it's Talonflame. What? It's a firebird.
It's so
It's
cool.
so cool.
Its name is awful, but it's such a cool
Talonflame
Pokemon.
is one of the laziest Pokemon names of all time,
Easy. Absolutely.
but
But
it's such
also,
a cool looking Pokemon. It's just like a hawk that's on fire. What?
yeah.
Like, Come on now.
Also, it's baby form, our buddy Douglas.
Douglas.
Yes, you LP'd it. You had
Yeah.
Douglas.
Yeah, his name is Douglas. He's just a
Sorry,
little guy.
forgetting things here, but yes.
Now, this is where I'm like torn here. Because
I don't know what you're picking next
I can
because
go in several different directions. And in my mind, I'm like, do I want to go in a direction where it's like, I have one in mind where I could grab it with my last pick, maybe, but I have it ranked highly. But then, like, what if you also have it ranked highly? It makes me a little nervous because I won't get it for 2 more picks.
yeah,
It's
now you're into the actual draft mindset because now like
yeah.
I
I
picked Greninja first, not because it's my favorite, but because I was like, if I don't pick it first, he's picking it.
All right. I'm torn between 2 here because I think if I don't take one, the other one's gonna go for sure. Um,
Okay, let's hear it.
so I think where I go here,
Uh-huh.
I think I go Gudra.
Oh man, that's surprising. I love Gudra, but
Gud-
Gudra's not even on my list. It's at the
Gudra's
bottom as a
Gudra's
backup.
just a really like. It took a long time for Gudra to really grow on me.
Yeah.
Now
Same.
Gudra is a gooey dragon, right? It is a slimy, snotty, gross dragon, but
It
incre-
bothers me that it wasn't poison type.
incredibly cute. It is water type, right?
It's just dragon.
Is it just dragon?
Yeah.
That's dumb.
That's
Never.
why I like the Hisuian one because
You
it's
know
steel
what?
dragon.
Gudra's
But the
gone.
reason why is Dragalge was in this generation. So they
Gudra
didn't
is
want to have two
gone.
poison dragons.
I've 86 Gudra. I thought he was water dragon. He's
Nope.
not. Then he's gone.
No.
I rescind my pick. Is that okay? Can I
Yeah, go
cast
for
him
it.
to the depths?
Yeah.
I'm taking
Hisuian Gudra is cool. Gudra is just makes
Hisuian
me
Gudra
sad.
is sick. I'm taking Florges.
Ooh, that wasn't even on my list.
I'm taking Florges, which is just a really cool fairy type Pokemon. It is like this
Booty drop.
fairy in a what up booty drop?
That
It
was
is
the
a
name, right?
that was the nickname I had for it. Yeah. It's this fairy in a bundle of flowers. Really good special attacker, believe it or not, and awesome in the terror raids in this game. But Florges is just
Oh
like
yeah.
a cool Pokemon, and one of the cool things about Florges is that it and its previous evolutions all can come in multiple different colors. Their flowers can appear in different colors, so you have like orange, pink, yellow, white. I think blue is another color, and their evolution stages would change based on the color of the flowers, which was very
That was
unique to
cool.
them. So
This was a gen that liked doing that too, because they
it
did that with Vivian too.
yeah, so it's a really cool Pokemon. I like Florges for that reason, and I will now give you the floor for your pick 6 and 7.
All right. I'm picking one because I think other people will think it's super cool. I'm picking one because I like it.
Yeah, that's
Um,
about where I went with that last set.
but I'm you picked everything else from my list. All of my backups are gone. So now I'm after these, I don't know what to pick for my last one.
Yeah,
Before the Mega and Legendary. So
sure.
my 6 and 7 are gonna be Go-Go
Ooh, that was on my list.
and Malamar.
Ooh, Malamar actually wasn't on my list, surprisingly.
Go-Go is just the ultimate buddy.
Go-Go is the ultimate buddy. I love
Literally carries the team on his back.
Squad.
Go-Go isn't normal, it's just grass?
It's just grass.
Oh, I thought it was normal grass.
You're allowed to
Interesting.
throw that pick out.
No, I'm happy with it. That makes it better, honestly. I just think Go-Go is so cool. Also, its
Yeah.
persona in like the Smash games, it's really funny. Where like
What's its
runs
persona?
around.
Yeah, just
And
just
like
kind of
you can jump on
ride
its
on
back
it, right?
and ride around. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can ride on it. Skiddo is adorable too. It was
Skiddo.
between Go-Go and Skiddo for me.
Yeah,
I think Skiddo is so cute.
that's so
but-
valid.
I love Go-Go. Go-Go's sick. And Malamar, I think is cool as a trope.
Okay.
Malamar, if I remember correctly, is made to be like Ursula.
Yep.
But it's a dark psychic type, which is
Which
such a cool
so
type combo.
unique. Yeah.
Um, and I don't know if it was ever like meta relevant, but it had, I think, a unique ability. Suction cups.
What
And
did that do?
oh no, it was not. Suction cup started in Gen 3. I was wrong. But what it does is it like anchors it so it sticks. So like you can't use roar or circle throw or whatever other, I don't know if there's other ones.
Yeah.
Um, but you cannot switch it out with roar. It also has contrary, which makes it so stat changes have the opposite effect.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you gave it a move that would lower its stats, it would get stronger.
Yeah.
Which is super cool. Its stats were not great. I don't remember it being a powerful Pokemon. I could be wrong.
I think it's like a pretty like mid-range guy, but like valid with the right moveset.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
I think its typing helped it more than its stats did.
Oh, absolutely. Dark Psychic is a really interesting combo.
And to get stabbed for both is just really cool.
Yeah. All right, let's see it. What you got next? I'm out of ideas.
So I was torn here because I know that we've basically picked exclusively final evolution in this draft to date.
Yep.
I think I'm going to turn back time a little bit and nab a couple of Pokemon in their earlier state.
Okay.
Because I feel like some of them are just incredibly good.
Yeah.
And the first one I'm going to go with, because you stole Greninja from me.
Don't you dare take Froakie.
I'm grabbing Froakie.
No, that was going to be my last pick.
Froakie!
Oh.
I actually almost grabbed Froakie around early.
Oh, man.
Froakie was
now I don't know
almost
what I'm
part of
picking
my...
last.
It was almost part of my Talonflame Florges combo. I almost went Froakie Talonflame. But I was like, I think I can let it slip one more.
Oh,
Froakie is just such a cute little guy. And he's just a little cloud frog, and he's sweet, and I would die for him. There is one other Pokemon that I would also die for. Because
I'm scared now because I think you might be picking the one I was going to get.
Because it's also heckin' cute.
Oh, no.
And its name
Oh, no.
is Pumpkaboo.
Oh! Oh!
The draft got spicy.
Man. You stole 4 Pokemon. That's right. I stole Greninja.
Welcome to You Had Greninja.
Oh, man.
But yeah, Froakie and Pumpkaboo. Pumpkaboo is a little ghost grass.
Oh, I love Pumpkaboo.
Pumpkin.
He's so cute.
That can come in different sizes, which is kind of fun.
Because it's a pumpkin.
And I was excited because I caught a shiny one back when I was playing Pokemon Sword and Shield.
They're so cute.
And its name is Pump Daddy.
Oh, man. All right.
Just adorable. Just adorable.
All right. All right.
What is your last regular pick?
I'm just gonna scroll one more time now, just to make sure there's something that's not above it in my ranking. Like I could go for like Vivian because it's cool with like the patterns.
Yeah.
But I think this one's better overall. I really like Dragalge.
Dragalge is on my list.
Man. Is it Dedenne or Dragalge?
Dedenne is also on my list. You know who else is on my list? Because I don't think you're going to pick them.
Who's that? Klefki?
No.
Klefki, it broke the internet when it came out.
Trash. Just a trash Pokemon. Throw it in the trash heap.
It's so funny.
It is funny, but it's dumb.
Do you know the lore though? Like why Klefki is a good pick for specifically this generation?
Because French people lose their keys all the time?
No, because like keys in particular
Yeah.
were like a very big deal in France. Like key making and locks and things like that apparently were like that's a thing that was like a very big deal in France. Like
Huh.
locksmiths, like the best locksmiths apparently were in France.
Okay.
Um, so I just figured that that's neat. I think I'm gonna go with Dedenne then.
The Dene is very cool. The Dene is a fairy electric.
Yeah, it's the Pikachu of this generation.
It's the
Every
Pikachu.
generation has a Pikachu of the generation. Dedenne is interesting because in the card game, Dedenne GX
Yep.
was super strong because it was a Pokemon that had an ability that was about as good as a supporter card, and supporters are like your Professor Oaks, your
Yeah.
Boss's Orders is Gust of Wind. But like it's an effect that's very strong. It was discard your hand, draw 6, I want to say,
Wow.
if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And you could only use that ability once in a turn,
Yeah.
but super strong. It was also a meta relevant Pokemon for a while because it was fast and fairy type.
Ooh.
Its stats are pretty low, but it has Nuzzle and
Which is
Volt
great.
Switch. So it was a status, a status attacker,
Right.
which was neat.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fast and it had decent special. So you could do like Super Fang.
Mm-hmm.
You could do Volt Switch. If
Yeah.
you really wanted to, you could have Nuzzle to paralyze. Um, you could give it Dazzling Gleam and attack both defenders.
Mm-hmm.
You could give it. There was a list of things that were kind of cool for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Dedenne. Yeah, Dedenne is my last pick.
That's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
Solid, Mon.
It was on my list.
All right, let's see what you got.
The next highest Pokemon as a runner-up on my list was Fennekin.
Interesting.
I like Fennekin as a first stage Pokemon. But
Fennekin's breaks in first form, right?
yeah. Like literally Firefox.
Fennekin, yeah. Yeah. Fennekin's cool. I just think that Delphox is kind of lame.
Oh, it's terrible.
Like Delphox, they could have made so much cooler because it's a like a wizard.
Just god awful.
I think it's god awful. It's just disappointing. They made it like they could have made it look like it was wearing a robe.
A little bit better.
And instead it looks like it's not wearing a robe. It looks like it just hasn't shaved for a while.
Or
cut its hair. If they made it look more like a cape, I would love Delphox.
Yeah.
Because the idea of a fire psychic like wizard Pokemon is so cool. But its robe doesn't really look like a robe. It just looks dumb. And that makes me sad. Fennekin's awesome though.
Matt, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
What Mega Pokemon are you drafting? We are at that point where it's time to draft the Mega Pokemon.
So here's the question. Who gets the first pick now?
So we're still snaking. So you get the first Mega, I'll get the first Legendary.
Okay.
Unless you want to flip that.
No, I'll take Mega first. I'm taking Mega Charizard X. Easy.
Ooh, Mega Charizard X. Easy. Yeah, Mega Charizard X is so cool.
There is no better. That is objectively the best one if we're not doing Mega Legendaries.
Like, I mean, there is. I'm not.
You literally cannot beat that.
I don't know that I am. So I'm not as well versed in like the meta and like what Pokemon are actually good or not.
Well, I don't care about the meta. Mega Charizard X just looks awesome.
Oh, it's just so cool.
So cool.
Like 1 billion times better than Mega Charizard Y. Can we agree?
Yes. Yep.
Like
not even a competition.
1 trillion times better than Mega Blastoise. A Gorillion.
Mega Blastoise is cool though.
I don't know,
but not on that level.
Not on Charizard X level.
All right, I'm curious. Are you gonna? Okay. My second pick, my backup, was Mega Alakazam.
You know what?
But there's a lot of good Megas.
There's a lot of good Megas. Because I had 2 down for myself in case as a contingency. neither of those are actually
Uh-huh.
Pokemon you picked. I
Okay.
didn't have Mega Charizard X on my
Really?
yeah.
Is it Gengar?
I'm torn right now. I'm torn because there are two that are just like so good to me. But I can't leave my original number one pick,
Oh.
and that's Mega Gengar. It's
Okay. So
Mega Gengar is just so cool.
I chose Alakazam, but it was between Alakazam and Gengar as the backup for Charizard.
My backup for Gengar
Yeah.
was Mega Ampharos.
Oh my god. Okay. So not the coolest one in my opinion, but my favorite. I
It's
love
so
Mega
isn't
Ampharos.
Mega Ampharos so cool?
Its
Like
hair.
the
Oh my
hair,
god.
it's so powerful. It's so
Glorious.
powerful. There, oh, man. But yeah, Mega
So
Charizard
good.
X, Mega Gengar,
So good.
really solid. Now, I do think that the legends in Pokemon X and Y are probably among the weakest in any.
Except for one, and you're gonna get it.
Oh, are you talking about a certain letter
Not
of the?
generate not letter X.
Yeah, it's Yveltal.
Yeah, well what those oh my god, it's so cool.
Yveltal is so cool.
The drop off is so steep
It's such
after
a
that.
it's a
So
cliff.
steep.
It's a cliff. It's not even close.
All right.
I'll tell you who
Yeah.
my number 2 was, but
I
it's
doubt that mine is I don't even think the one you would have picked, but
what is your so Yveltal is just a big dark Y-shaped angry bird, and it's again very cool.
it looks like a falcon.
It looks like Galarian Moltres. A little bit.
I guess Colosian Moltres.
Yeah. So who is your final pick of the
Hoopa.
draft? Hoopa! Hoop. There it is.
Yeah, Hoopa's sick. The Unbound Hoopa is awesome.
Hoopa Unbound is very cool. I typed in Hoopa Unbound for you because Hoopa Unbound is raw.
The regular Hoopa is funny because it's a prankster. It's like a trickster, and it's like a
Yeah.
ghost. But the Hoopa Unbound is so crazy.
It's like literally Doctor Strange.
But like even more than that, it's like it's a genie. It's the
Yeah.
Jinn.
Mm-hmm.
It's oh my god, Hoopa Unbound is so baller.
It's such a fun Pokemon.
But still a drop off after Yveltal.
Yeah,
It's just
I was torn actually between Zygarde and Hoopa as my.
that was me too. Yeah, but I think that the 100% Zygarde is weaker than the 50% Zygarde in terms of its look.
Yeah, I like
Like-
Dog Zygarde the best. I think Dog Zygarde goes so hard. It
That's
reminds
the
me of
10%. I like the worm one. 50%. The complete one is so lame though.
is
because
Zygarde complete, not the worm?
No. Zygarde complete is the one where it's like standing bipedal with like the weird
Oh, it's
like
terrible. Complete. No, give me that 10%.
it looks like it's
the 50% form goes hard.
50% is the worm. The dog and the worm are sick, but 100% is so weird. The 100% is the one that looks like a freaking the Megazord.
It looks like a really sad Megazord.
Because it's got like parts of the other ones. Like it's got the dog head as part of its chest.
Yeah.
But it's like now it's not a dog head anymore. And its tail is just weird.
You know what 10% looks like to me? 10% reminds me so much of
Boltund?
no, Belgarder, who's Sigma in Mega Man X, Sigma's dog.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just like,
Yeah.
let's go. It's just a really cool dog.
Yeah, Zydog is sick.
Zydog is sick. So just to round out these drafts, and we're gonna post this on socials and stuff too. But Matt's
see who you think
draft,
wins.
Matt's got Greninja, Aegislash, Chestnut, Pangoro, Noivern, Gogoat, Malamar, Dedenne, Mega Charizard X parentheses easy, and Hoopa Unbound. A strong list.
I like yours though too.
And then my draft is Sylveon, Howlucha, Tyrantrum, Revenant, Talonflame, Florges, Froakie, Pumpkaboo, Mega Gengar, and Yveltal. It's a these are
That's a good.
highly competitive in like just how sick these Pokemon are.
Yeah, we stole a lot from each other.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I can't believe you made the freaking next level move of getting both Pumpkaboo and Froakie on me though. Oh,
The 1-2 Skidoo to finish out strong. It's all right. You snagged Aegislash and Pangoro like right before I would have drafted them.
yeah, that was a lot of fun though.
That was a lot of fun. Uh yeah. And we'll be posting it, so keep an eye on the Twitter. And yeah, let's move on to any other final thoughts on Pokemon X and Y?
I wish I still had a copy of it that I could play because now I really want to go play it again.
Yeah. I should go revisit it, but I haven't, and I feel bad about that. Kind of.
It's fine. There are infinite games to play.
Speaking of infinite games to freaking play, quick tip. Let's do a quick little tip of the hat and wag of the finger, real quick.
Oh yeah.
Tip of the hat, real quick, to former co-host of the Games of Our Lives podcast, Tony, who revealed to me that we're going to be going on vacation together overseas in October.
That's so cool.
So for those unaware, I'm going to be traveling to Japan, and Tony revealed to me just 2 days ago that he's also going to be in Japan at the exact same time as me.
Yeah, there's overlap, which is so cool.
A 4-day overlap? That's insane. So, nice little tip of the hat there, Tony.
Well done.
Yeah. Got any tips of the hat?
My tip of the hat was to the Bug Fables dev.
Ooh.
For April Fool's Day, they do this thing every year where they make a fake mod of the game.
Okay.
I think one of them was real. A couple of years ago, it's called Push Rock.
Okay.
It was the name of it. But this year they made they replaced all characters' values for their identifier in game, like their character flag.
Yeah.
So that every character in the game would be the same.
Oh.
So there's pictures of like walking through town where everything is one of the little like aphids.
That's
or
so funny.
Everyone is a certain moth. Stupid moth.
Oh, that's so good.
I
That
think
was such a good game.
Everything is Kabu or everything is Vi was pretty funny.
Everything is Kabu feels like just psychotic to me.
It's so funny.
I love Kabu.
But yeah, tip of the hat to indie devs who do silly things for April Fool's Day. Specifically the Bug Fables devs, because I thought that was really funny.
Absolutely. I got a wag of the finger.
Uh-oh, who is it?
So I was supposed to stream this past week with a couple of friends.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to Levin Lightsaber, Skidaro, and the Sample Man. We were going to play Mario Party together, but Mother Nature had different plans.
Oh yeah, that was rough.
And I lost power for like 7 hours. And I lost power 8 minutes before we were supposed to go live. It felt a little illegal. I'm just saying. Wag my finger.
So much finger wagging.
Couldn't even open my fridge for 8 hours. Imagine that. Nightmare scenario. You got any wags?
Yeah, I feel bad for this, but I don't at the same time.
Wag away. Wag away. This is a judgment-free zone. Call me Planet Fitness.
Wag of the finger also goes to an indie dev.
Hey.
Can you guess what it is?
It is indie dev that's catching heat.
It's a game that I really like and I've been excited for a while.
Is it Unicorn Overlord?
Nope. It's for Board of Bread.
Oh, they still haven't updated on the Switch?
No.
Those rat bastards.
We're on day 54 now.
No food, no water, no update.
Everyone's dead. I've forgotten who my teammates are. Although I've had fun going back and forth with them on Twitter.
Oh, have you been like chiding them?
There's 3 or 4 logs, not one.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Hold on,
You know what? Don't promise something.
They said it's getting stuck in the ESRB ratings for something because of something one of the characters says, or something like that.
So 86
But
it?
don't. Where is it? Let's see.
They could just write something different.
Right. They did just say we might have news to share soon. Actually, 2 days ago, and I got excited, but they haven't shared anything yet. But my first one was day 30. They still don't know when the patch will drop. I've forgotten where I was in game almost, and fear my team has eaten through all of the golden food we'd saved. Here's to hoping they rationed well and the food doesn't spoil.
Oh my gosh.
And then they said, it's coming this month, I swear. And this is in March. March 12th.
Ooh, ouch.
So I said, console patching seems frustrating. Damn. Also, I've loved the game so far, so don't worry about it. And they said, yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. Then I also said, let's see, did I have another one before the most recent one? I thought I had 3. I guess I only have 2. Then the last one was day 52. At this point, crewmates have become strangers. Who was the pirate with an anchor? Why is there a raccoon following me? I try not to ask because I fear the answers. Any ETA for the Switch?
Oh man. That's beautiful. It's like it's almost like a wag. It's almost like a wag and a tip, just given that they've been like responsive.
Right. No, like it's a very, 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 very small team.
Right.
It's like mostly a couple people.
It's you and I.
And the game is awesome, so I'm not complaining.
Listen, I'm so excited to play it once it updates. I really am.
Oh, trust me, I'll be updating you as soon as it does.
So I know you haven't been playing Born of Bread at all these last week or so. What games have you been playing?
Let's see. I finally beat Mario Wonder with the exception of the special levels, but I got all of the Wonder Seeds.
Nice. What did you think?
I thought it was really fun. It's I think the best 2D Mario ever.
That's probably correct.
I know there are people that will get mad and say like, "Oh, Super Mario." I don't care. It was the best one. I had fun playing it.
I think
it didn't take itself too seriously. It was fun.
Yeah.
I also have been playing Advance Wars Boot Camp. I'm almost done with the story for 1.
Yep.
And I've been playing Princess Peach Showtime with Gigi.
Nice.
Which I'm an anti-hater for that game. It's not a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination. There are things that are really annoying about it. Like, why can't I just go through the door to go back a room?
Right.
Please, why? But I've been having fun playing it with Gigi. And she's able to, like, beat levels, and I can help her if she needs help. It's really fun. Also, you need to check your posture and hydrate, just saying.
Oh, God. Oh.
But
listen,
yeah,
I'm at about hour 24 right now, so.
Oh, yeah. Next up, though, Unicorn Overlord. I just started last night. I haven't really made any progress in the game yet, but I can tell I'm going to love it. My brother said it's good. Excited.
I will have to play that eventually. I promise.
No, you won't.
I don't even promise. That was the most hollow promise I've ever promised on a game that I'll ever play. Yeah, I'll get to that one.
All right.
Dumb.
What do you think?
What do I think? What have I been playing this week?
Yeah.
I've been playing Super Princess Peach Showtime. which is just Princess Peach Showtime. I beat the dang game. I saved the dang theater. Game's like a 7 out of 10. I am going to try to 100% it because of just how reckless of a human I am.
The challenges look fun. Or at
Challenges?
least
The
toughish.
boss
toughish.
challenges are fine. They added a thing called hide and seek.
Oh, you have to find that. That's okay. That sounds
Hide and
frustrating.
seek makes you replay every single level and find 3 ninjas who are doing the paper hold up hidey ability in each level.
That sounds exhausting.
And it just basically forces you to replay the game a second time all the way through.
I don't like that.
I hate it.
But you're gonna do it anyway.
I'm a third of the way through it. It's like I've already committed so far to the bit. I might as well just go all the way. But like for the boss thing, like each one of them is basically no hit win to get the shine sprite or whatever. Sparkle gem. So it's been fine. Have I been playing any other video games this week? A little bit of Rayman Legends.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I started playing Rayman Legends.
Solid game.
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far. But that's really about it. So I want to thank you, Matt, for being here, of course. Thank you to everybody listening, for all the viewers on iTunes, on Spotify, on YouTube, here on Twitch. You can follow the show literally where I just said, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. You can follow the show at Games of Our Pod on Twitter and Instagram, at Games of Our Lives on YouTube. You can follow Matt at Battlon, BATTLEXON, on Twitter and YouTube. And you can follow me, Bill the Fajita, here on Twitch, as well as Twitter and Instagram, and also kind of YouTube. And any parting words for the wonderful people at home?
Go play XY if you haven't. Best polished Pokemon ever.
Go play as Ash's Greninja, or I'll never forgive you.
Wow. Strong words. Bold.
But I still love y'all. Bye!
Bye, everyone.
That's right. Thank him, Thrillhouse Max.